What's up, everyone, and welcome to Now, Next, Never, our show about what's happening now, what's happening next, and what may never happen in the world of investing, stocks, crypto, NFTs, and so much more. I'm Nicole Casperson, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Delano Saparu in snowy New York and Zaid Admani in Houston, Texas. Zaid, what is up?
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are enjoying the snow up in New York. We don't get snow here. We just get muggy, cloudy days right now. So I think I'd probably prefer the snow. But anyways, we got a great show today. We're talking Apple. Apple had their event yesterday, and they threw some heat at their launch event for new iPhones and an iPad, and also streaming some MLB. That's going to be interesting to talk about. Also, you guys smell that Musk? Because we're talking nickel. And Elon Musk has something to say about it, so we're going to dive into that. And finally, Etoro gets their lean in on and launches its female leadership portfolio. Excited to learn more about that as well. Delano, what do you think?
Zayn, I don't smell the musk. I smell good over here. I'm fresh. I'm clean. All right, and I'm ready to get into the topics. But first, people, make sure that you stay tuned in because we're gonna go over all of those topics as well as what it means for you and your money. So stay tuned. Make sure you offer up your comments. All right, offer up your questions in the comment section. But stick with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know every time we're going live. Let's not wait anymore. Let's get into it.
Apple had their event yesterday, and I call it their JV event because it's not their signature event that they have in the fall where they release their new iPhones. But they did release some new products: the iPhone SE with 5G, a new iPad Air, and some really expensive Mac Studios. They also announced a deal with the MLB. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Look, I'm an Apple stan. Like, I love Apple, and I was streaming this thing, and I saw all the highlights. None of the products really stood out to me. But what I am seeing though is Apple is doubling down on their own silicon. They released a beefed up version of the Apple M1. So that's something to be excited about. I don't know, Delano, what do you think?
You shouldn't be excited anymore about the products releases, Zaid. I think it's more integration versus innovation, right? Apple's not going to be able to do a product that's once in a lifetime every single time they have an event. But what they have done is integrated all these products into our lives, right? RIP is Steve Jobs. He only wore a black turtleneck, but what he has all of us wearing is all of the products he invented. We got the AirPods in our earpieces. We have the watches on our wrist. We have the phone in our pocket, and then we have the MacBook in our backpack, right? So I think now we're shifting to this integration piece rather than this, complete wow us innovation piece.
Oh, no doubt. Like, Apple definitely has me in their grips. I spend way too much money on Apple, more than I want to admit. Nicole, are you an Apple stan?
I am an Apple stan. I guess for me it's maybe I don't want to get green bubble shamed, so I enjoy my blue bubbles. But okay, let's talk about this though. Event or modern infomercial? First, all right, is Apple kind of making infomercials cool? Sure, that was a really cool media event. But all of these products are just another iteration of older products. Yes, the SE is basically just a faster version of my dad's iPhone 13 because he can't let go of having a physical home button.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, exactly. Audience, I'm sure a lot of your dads have old iPhones. It looks exactly the same. You could easily mistake one for the other. But I can appreciate Apple giving more affordable and less super sleek options to consumers at $400 to $500. Much more affordable than a typical brand new iPhone. But guys, the real star here is the Mac Studio, all right? Let me tell you, it has not one, not two, not three, but 4 USB ports. Two in the front, 2 in the back, because we like to business in the front, party in the back. But how crazy is this? 2022, guys, we finally got 4 USB
It's about
ports.
time.
That is the innovation right there. We love Apple products, but I don't love having to buy more gadgets, ancillary gadgets, to make my expensive Apple products work. So I appreciate the USB ports. But in all seriousness, the new Mac product is really cool. But for people like creators or everyday users to actually afford it, less likely at like $4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
That's pushing it.
The $400 to $500 iPhone is I think is going to be a big hit. I mean, I can definitely see myself buying that for my parents because they love having their physical button as well, and it's way cheaper than buying, an iPhone 13, which costs over $1,000. So the $400 to $500 iPhone SE, I think, is going to be a big seller. But I got to tell you about this. I was looking at some of the highlights. They're releasing a 27-inch MacBook monitor, or not a MacBook monitor, just an Apple monitor. It's supposed to be super sleek and everything. It's awesome. There's an iPhone chip in there. There's like a A13 chip in there, which was used for previous iPhones. So we're talking about like these chip shortages. Apple is like sitting on a stockpile of chips. They have so many chips that they're putting them in monitors. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
I mean, that's the other funny part about the media event that they had, right? Like, the Apple folks, they love to push, like, everything's faster, everything's more amazing, everything's so incredible, and then they talk really intricately about, like, the chips. All right, I don't know if anyone actually knows how any of that works, but...
It doesn't matter. We're bought in.
We sound like Apple stands, guys. What about the other side? There are Android people in the comments that may say they've had all this innovation before. They just didn't have to wait in line and pay thousands of dollars for this. So we're sounding like stands, guys. We're sounding like stands, but maybe that's what we are. I don't know.
That's exactly what we are. And like I said, Apple is like the first and only like luxury brand in the world, right? Luxury tech brand, in the world, right? So whenever they launch anything, it can be anything, like a polishing cloth, people will pay attention and we're gonna watch. So that's just how it is. So this is another one of those situations. And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of watching, Apple did something else. All right, they unveiled a partnership with the MLB, right? And so what Apple did is they're entering a live sports coverage arena partnership with Friday Night Baseball. Apple and the Major League Baseball announced this on Tuesday, and it's going to be carried on Apple TV Plus. A weekly doubleheader on Friday nights in 8 countries when regular season games actually begin, and they're going to be available. One thing to note. These games won't be available for regional coverage. So I'm actually curious what this means for people that are still, paying for cable or haven't cut the cord. I don't know. This is now an area where we're moving into more licensing and not fully taking over, but licensing of live sports rights. What does that mean for the people that haven't cut the cord or people that have cut the cord?
I mean, I'm a huge sports fan, but this is like Apple. You're partnering with Major League Baseball, like the least, the dying sport in America, right? Wake me up when they're going to partner with the NFL. I'm going to get a lot of comments from making that MLB joke.
Zayd hates America's oldest pastime, apparently, guys.
I would rather watch curling than watch baseball, like straight up.
I'm with you, actually.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the actual business aspect of this stuff, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? We've been waiting for streaming services to embrace sports, and we saw it with Amazon signing up, doing the Thursday Night Football. Peacock is doing it with the Olympics. There's a lot of other streaming platforms that are doing it, except for one, which is Netflix. They're kind of like out there and haven't really committed to any live sports yet. That might be changing, but I mean, look, this is just a matter of time, and once this stuff starts happening and more sports start going to streaming platforms, maybe the regional sports networks are gonna start losing subscribers. So it'll be interesting to see.
Streaming services are to media what crypto and blockchain technology is to traditional finance. It's forcing old industries to either innovate or get left behind. For me, I also want to know who's going to take over other live events like concerts. Sports is just to start. I know Peacock has, dabbled in like some very exclusive, like, Miley Cyrus concerts for certain, events, and I've definitely downloaded it just for that, and then, forgot to actually like end my subscription, and then I end up paying for it, the trap that we all fall into, thanks streaming services. But yeah, it's just kind of funny how streaming is just like the new cable, but without forced commercials. At this point, I think the price points must be nearly the same, so it's literally just UX and the ability to choose your own content adventure that's causing streaming sites to win right now.
Exactly. I think one of the big things is a lot of the streamers you mentioned are innovative. All the cable companies are innovative because some of them are, the parent company of a lot of these streaming platforms we like. Like if you're talking about Peacock or all the different ones, some of them have innovated, but are they too late? Like Netflix already has over 200 million subscribers, and the other platforms are trying to catch up. And so if you're someone like Apple TV, where you are first in on these sports rights and leaving the other people behind, they're trying to slowly innovate, then you might have actually just had a first mover advantage.
And here's the other thing that like sports is one of the only remaining things in the world that you have to watch live. You can't I mean, you can watch replays, but you have to watch a sporting event live. So the premium for that is so much higher. And the one thing that like Apple, Amazon, and some of these like tech companies, these massive tech companies can do that some of these legacy cable companies can't do is just throw the bag, right? They can offer the largest amount of money. They can offer the largest bag to these sports leagues. So I just don't see how companies like Comcast or other cable companies can compete if like Amazon comes in and was like, hey, I'll write you a blank check, NFL or NBA or whoever. I mean, there's a world here that we're seeing these big tech companies just take over live sports and just put it on the streaming platform.
Zayd, you're so right. One point, I have to see my Alex Caruso dunks live and in direct in my face. Number two, there was rumored, right, that the price point for this was like $550 million, or that's a rumor that's out there. And you're right, this is amount of, if you're talking about like Apple that has billions, trillions on the balance sheet, billions on the balance sheet, that's something that like they can do, and these other platforms may or may not be able to do, depending on how their balance sheet looks.
Exactly. I mean, we could talk about this stuff all day, right, Delano? And now Nicole's like, all right, guys, move on to the next topic. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, we'll move on to the next topic. The next topic is nickel shortages. I never thought that I'd be talking about nickel, but it's making headlines right now. Not just nickel, a lot of commodities are seeing massive spikes in prices. Oil, everyone knows about oil prices right now. We're feeling the pain at the pump. Wheat prices, now nickel. This has to do with a bit of the Russia-Ukraine conflict where Russia is a main supplier of nickel, and because of the conflicts right now, there might be trouble getting importing nickel from Russia, which is causing the price of nickel to soar to recent highs. And the reason we care about that is because nickel is used to make batteries for EVs, and EVs are very, very popular. Elon Musk even talked about it, saying that he tweeted about it almost a year ago, saying that that they need more nickel for EV batteries. So like, what do Delano, like, what do you think about like commodity prices soaring and nickel kind of like causing a headache for car manufacturers?
Yeah, this is a big headache. We had the chip shortage that slowed down supply chains, and that was a big issue that we spent over 6-7 months prior to dealing with. And now you're telling some of the EV manufacturers that nickel is something that the price is surging when their margins in this kind of business are already pretty thin. This is something that's definitely could be a headache, right? Because we're looking at places where EV ramping up. It's a big push, for the government and for people, for our sake of our humanity, right? But I think this is super interesting on a macro level. I'm looking at the traders, right? Like everything in the market is down except for your one weird friend that trades commodities and tries to tell you about it. Like I'm trading wheat. That one weird friend is like celebrating right now because that's the person that's been long, wheat or nickel or corn or something of that nature. But it's just crazy. It's crazy times right now.
Commodity traders are taking a victory lap, right, Nicole?
Sure. I mean, I'm thinking a lot about, the fact that the Earth has like 11 years to cut emissions to actually avoid dire climate scenarios. But yeah, that's where my head is at. Climate change is very real, and we are at a very crucial time right now. Anything that pushes back that timeline for us to make real progress is a problem that we should care about. So yeah, this is not great news when we're finally getting automakers on the EV growth train, right? Like, now there could be plans to pull that back, and if things get more expensive, then that means more consumers aren't going to buy EVs. In fact, I think that I read somewhere that EVs are less affordable already, and so adding 1K more to the price is like not helping anyone. So these EVs are going to get less affordable. The climate crisis is only getting more and more dire. So anything that we can do to help this problem is something we need to be paying attention to, because I guess a lot of it is going to be on the automakers, just really working closely with their finance arms and understanding how to navigate the business and continue to get more EVs on the road.
I mean, it's a double whammy, right? We have gas prices that are hitting record highs, or close to record highs, and then EVs, which are supposed to, EVs, which everybody wants. I mean, I want one, but they're already super expensive. And now with this nickel shortage and nickel prices spiking, they're saying it's going to add $1,000 to cars to the price of an EV. So it's not really helping the situation. So hopefully these car manufacturers, they're way smarter than we are, and hopefully they can come up with an alternate solution or find other ways to make these batteries instead of nickel, like Elon Musk was saying last year.
Agreed. So, ready to move on to our final story, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. This one is really, really exciting. So, Social investing network Etoro is helping its 20 million plus users invest in female-led companies. And full disclosure, Etoro is the parent company of the social investing network. But this is so exciting, and it comes on the heels of, International Women's Day yesterday. It is Women's History Month, all month, so, celebrate ladies like every day. But anyway, Etoro has introduced its female leadership portfolio so investors can capitalize on as well as support corporate female leadership. Companies need to have at least 40% female representation in the executives and their board of directors to be included in the portfolio. So for me, some of the companies that are represented in the portfolio actually surprised me to have strong female leadership, including Disney, Bath & Body Works, and Gap. So all the bad things I've ever said about Disney the other day, I take it back. Guys, this is super exciting. For me, research has proven time and time and again that greater female representation in a company results in higher profitability. When women's presence is in a corporate leadership, that also enhances factors of like corporate culture, mentorship, collaboration, employee well-being. The last data point I will share is also that studies have found that public companies with women at the helm, either as CEOs or CFOs, show higher profits and stock price performance than those companies with men in top positions. So, these are factors that people don't always consider or come to realize. So what are your thoughts, guys? Zaid?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Etoro. That's awesome. And, shout out to Etoro for the show as well. This was actually like an educating moment for me because I didn't, like Nicole, I didn't know all the stats that you just told us right there. Like, that's awesome to see that women-led companies are, have good stock performance, even better stock performance. And so this is really awesome to see. And shout out to Etoro for making it really easy and giving us the ability to invest in female-led companies. I have a daughter, 3-year-old daughter, and like gender equality is very, very important for me because I don't want my daughter to get 70 cents for the same lemonade that she sells compared to the boys. So this is very important to me. I'm really happy that Etoro is going this direction.
Nicole, I just have to give a round of applause. You read us, you gave us stats, you gave us everything we need to know because a lot of people, like you said, don't know that. And one thing a lot of people aren't able to really look into is the fact you mentioned a lot of times you have diverse initiatives, it is also profitable as well. Like a good amount of the time it is profitable. So for people to understand that is a big thing. And personally, I have 2 older sisters that I've always looked up to. One got her MBA and is doing really well. The other got her PhD and she's doing really well. So these people that I've always looked up to that should be watching, make a comment, let me know that you make fun of me in the comments. But it's really important, and I'm glad that this initiative is being shared.
Yeah, at the end of the day, factoring female leadership into investment analysis is not only productive for, a portfolio and for the business, but it's literally just the right thing to do. Always educate, always learn more. But I love it. Well, that does it for our top stories today. We're now going to get into Now Next Never, where we talk about other headlines to pay attention to. I have now, so I'll go ahead and go first. Ukrainian boxing legend and 2-time heavyweight world champ Vladimir Klitschko, who I am so sorry if I mispronounced your name, is releasing a collection of NFTs to support Ukraine's war effort. Ukraine has been a great example of showing us just the power of blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and the ability to, continue to help the Ukrainian people and all those impacted by this war fight, have a chance to actually have their financials, come back alive. And so it's really amazing to see, but that's happening right now today. So wanna kick us off with next, Delano.
I got you. So guys, you hear me almost every day. And I've been told that I have kind of a smooth, sensual, a great radio voice. And so there's now a platform that's out there for me. It's called AMP. AMP is a way for creators to run their own live radio shows, the catalog of over tens of millions of songs. Guys, I'm already thinking of it, right? We're gonna have, Delano's R&B hour. We're gonna cue it up with some Usher, maybe followed up with some B2K. Who's popular? Ariana Grande, and then I'm gonna take my monologue to tell you all the good things that I've been musing on for the rest of the day. But this is something that's happening next. Creators getting platforms to do different things. You're gonna see a lot of people potentially pop up from this, so I'm super excited.
Delano, let's team up on this and let's make a Kanye Taylor Swift exclusive radio station.
I like that.
And we can run that. I think we get a lot of fans there. We get a lot of discussion on that for sure. Maybe we can get Kanye on. I know you're watching Kanye. I got the never. I already teased it earlier in the show. Never watching baseball. All right, baseball to me, I'm not a huge fan. I'm more of a cricket guy myself. The MLB right now is having a lockout. The owners and the players can't seem to agree on a deal, so there's lockouts. Games are being canceled. If baseball loses this season because the owners and the players can't agree, I mean, I'm never watching anyways, but they're going to lose the younger generation fans completely because we have so many more things to do nowadays that if baseball's not happening in the summer, we'll find something else to do. So, I'm keeping a close eye on this stuff to see if baseball actually happens this season.
Apparently, you're playing cricket instead of throwing
Yeah.
a baseball around. Is that what you're teaching your daughter? Is like
Yeah, exactly.
How
More
to
of a
play
cricket
cricket?
fan. Exactly.
All right.
It's a more exciting sport. We need to start a campaign to embrace cricket in America. There we go.
I like
That's my next goal.
All right. Well, leave a comment if you think that cricket should replace baseball as America's shining historical sport. Alrighty. Anyways, that does it for our show today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We go live every single day, so be sure to comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification button to make sure you stay tuned with us. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Peace.